with Vladimir Putin.
What the hell is Donald Trump's obsession with Vladimir Putin? Why won't he be straightforward about it?
It's a little extreme for us to somehow make this into a conspiracy.
We're also learning the identity of the eighth person in Don Jr.'s Trump Tower meeting.
It's very disturbing. It's taken us this long for this kind of information to come out.
We'll just let Obamacare fail.
That's just heartless. We're talking about real people here.
I regret that the effort to repeal and immediately replace will not be successful.
This is a real Mitch McConnell failure.
This is New Day with Chris Cuomo and Allison Camerata.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to your New Day. It is Wednesday, July 19th, 8 o'clock in the East. Up first, the White House downplaying reports that at the G20 summit, Mr. Trump and Vladimir Putin had a second undisclosed meeting. The president reportedly had an hour-long conversation with the adversary without any American officials present and no official record of what they discussed.
In just hours, President Trump is going to host all 52 Republican senators for lunch at the White House. This comes after the president said he wants to, quote, let Obamacare fail after the Senate health plan's humiliating defeat. We have it all covered for you. Let's begin with CNN's Joe Johns live at the White House. Joe.
Good morning, Chris. That first meeting, that 2-hour meeting between President Trump and Vladimir Putin caught the attention of the world, and now we know it wasn't the only time the two men spoke face to face. The White House confirming a second encounter at the G20 after reports of it surfaced in the news media.
President Trump lashing out, calling coverage of his previously undisclosed second meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin sick and alleging it's been made to look sinister. A senior White House official tells CNN the discussion on the sidelines of a G20 dinner lasted nearly an hour and no other U.S. officials were present. Ignoring protocol, the president relied on a Russian translator, leaving the U.S. with no official record of their conversation. The White House downplaying the second encounter, asserting the insinuation that the White House has tried to hide a second meeting is false, malicious, and absurd. This new revelation, the latest in a string of undisclosed meetings between Trump associates and Russians.
This kind of private meeting is virtually unprecedented in the diplomatic world. There seems to be a pattern of reckless or willful concealment of contacts with the Russians.
This meeting coming to light as CNN learns new details about the eighth person in attendance at the June 2016 meeting where top Trump aides hope to get damaging information about Hillary Clinton from the Russian government. That man, Ike Kaveladze, seen behind the president in 2013 in this exclusive video obtained by CNN, is a senior vice president at a real estate development company run by Russian oligarch Aris Agalarov, who has ties to Putin.
There was absolutely no conversation between either Agalarov and the Russian prosecutors or the Russian government about Hillary Clinton or the U.S. campaign ever. Didn't happen.
According to his attorney, Kaveladze believed he was attending a meeting as a translator for a Russian lawyer, despite the fact that she brought a translator with her. In 2000, Kaveladze was linked to U.S. bank accounts that came under congressional investigation for possible money laundering on behalf of Russian brokers. He was not charged.
This individual who's at least had a colorful past, if not a potentially criminal, it is very strange to me that this meeting that was supposed to be originally was related as 3 or 4 people about Russian adoptions.
Also this morning, CNN has confirmed that Russian lawyer, Natalia Veselnitskaya, who met with Donald Trump Jr. last year, has offered to testify before the United States Senate in order to clear up what she has called hysteria over the situation. Meanwhile, Senator Dianne Feinstein of California has told CNN that the special counsel, Robert Mueller, has given the green light for 2 witnesses to testify before the Senate Judiciary Committee. That would be Donald Trump Jr. and the former campaign chairman, Paul Manafort, though there's no clear note on exactly when that's going to happen. Back to you, Chris and Allison.
Thank you very much, Joe, for all the reporting. Let's bring in our panel now to discuss it. We have CNN political analyst David Gregory, senior Washington correspondent for Politico.com, Anna Palmer, and CNN politics reporter and editor-at-large Chris Cillizza. Chris, I know you've just written a piece for CNN.com saying that what President Trump appears to be doing with this second meeting with Putin, previously undisclosed, is a bait and switch. How is it, Chris Cillizza, that it has been more than 10 days, and in this age of all information all the time, we did not know that he had this possibly hour-long meeting with Vladimir Putin?
Well, one, because the White House didn't disclose it. But second, because, Allison, as you rightly note, all information all the time means you miss some things, right? I mean, it's just hard to see everything that is out there. But I do think what you're seeing here is really some classic Donald Trump misdirection. Taking a story which is the White House, Donald Trump met with the Russian president with no other, or huddled with, or had a sidebar with, choose your word, at a G20 dinner with the Russian president with no U.S. translator and no other U.S. official present. We didn't know about it, as you rightly point out, for 10 days after it happened. And now Donald Trump is trying to turn the story into a media story, that the media is sick, his word, and that we're twisting things around. That it's not a media story. It's a story about a meeting we didn't know about prior with a foreign adversary that we know through our intelligence agencies meddled in the 2016
They're not really
election. That's a story. The fact that the media is reporting on it is what we do. The fact that Donald Trump is trying to change the subject is what he does. It will work for a certain segment of people, but that doesn't make it right. It doesn't change the facts here, and the facts here are very clear.
And what's fueling it is the unknown. Why do we care about the meeting with Putin? Because there's an odd softness to the disposition of the United States versus a known inimical government agent in Vladimir Putin. We just had the former head of the Office of Government Ethics say that Trump's lawyer didn't want the president to sign his financial disclosure form certifying that it was accurate. I mean, can you believe that? I mean, and with these questions about, well, what financing does he have from any Russian banks? Why